Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
How's it going, everyone? InnovativeJdawg here, and I just wanted to say thanks again to all of you for helping me get my subscriber level to over 9,000. It really means a lot to me, and I'm excited to see where this channel heads in the future. So, in order to celebrate this momentous occasion, I think it's time to finally talk about the recent Dragon Ball Super manga chapter, Chapter 59, where the fight between Moro and Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku begins, seemingly kicking off the climax of the Galactic Prisoner arc. If you remember where the previous chapter left off, Goku revealed that thanks to his training with Maris, he has gained the ability to willingly tap into Ultra Instinct Saiyan, or Ultra Instinct Domain if that's the name you prefer. Revealing this to Moro, Goku gets right down to business and spends the entirety of this chapter squaring off against the Planet Eater. If you're a fan of those Dragon Ball chapters that focus more so on combat as opposed to story or character interactions, then this chapter is right up your alley, as the majority of its pages focus on the intense duel between Goku and Moro, only taking a few panels to cut back and forth the characters watching the battle take place, throwing in their own comments to help provide context to the duel between these two warriors. Because of the majority of this chapter focusing on action, I won't have much to talk about in terms of the story moving forward. However, I have quite a few things to say about the main fight itself. First off, I think Toyotaro's art in this chapter is fantastic. Character movement is really easy to follow, especially for such a fast-paced battle such as this, and I believe Toyotaro's character choreography lends itself nicely to how well this panel layout is in this chapter. Toyotaro's paneling skills have developed over the course of his work on the Dragon Ball Super manga, but I think the way the panels are laid out here really goes to show how he's made vast improvements over time, even when compared to some of his more recent chapters. I just feel like the paneling shown in Chapter 59 leaves more room for Toyotaro's display of self-contained images that can help provide more value for the characters and the way they move within those panels, as everything feels so neat as opposed to cluttered. Back to the fight itself, thanks to Goku's usage of Ultra Instinct Saiyan, the choreography of his movement feels more swift and quick as it should, which meshes together very well against Moro's towering demeanor and his reliance on hand movement in order to perform his magic. I really love those rapid punches that Goku throws throughout several panels throughout the chapter. Unable to match Goku's speed and heightened ability, Moro shows off his intelligence by managing to counter Ultra Instinct by placing some sort of magic paralysis energy around Goku's hands and feet, trapping him in place. Of course, Goku manages to break out of these binds by shattering the magic energy, but it's still interesting how Moro was able to achieve this feat in the first place, almost as if Ultra Instinct is unable to dodge magic as easily as physical attacks and energy beams. Cutting away from the fight, we get a quick snippet of Vegeta continuing his training on planet Yardrat, sensing the battle between Goku and Moro back on Earth, and I'd say everything is just lining up too perfectly for Vegeta to step in and secure the win against Moro. I'll reiterate this towards the end of the video where we get more context behind this little cutaway, but just keep in mind that Vegeta is still perfecting spirit control on Yardrat, and Toyotaro is building him up little by little with each chapter. So it's no secret that Vegeta is being saved for something special. Cutting back to the fight between Goku and Moro though, we see Goku dodging some of Moro's energy blasts, and one of them actually vaporizes Saganbo's dead body next to where Gohan, Piccolo, and Jaco were standing. Gohan tells his dad about how all of the Dragon Balls have already been gathered, so he can let loose during his fight and not have to worry about anyone dying or anything going wrong from the carnage of their duel. Now, I know a few people have had some issues with this line, stating that it was just a blatant way of telling the audience that there are no stakes within this battle, but keep in mind that at the beginning of this chapter, we saw Shimureka and a beaten down 7-3 talk about Goku's arrival on the battlefield as the rest of their comrades are taken off by the Galactic Patrol. They were shown off before the title page of this chapter, and it's possible that this is hinting at a potential role for the two of them in the future of this arc. Whether that's related to them stealing the Dragon Balls and fighting the other Z fighters, we aren't sure, but it is suspicious. And who's to say that just because all of the Dragon Balls are already gathered that there can't be any stakes left in this arc? What if Moro manages to vaporize someone like Gohan or Piccolo in a similar fashion to what he did with Segondo's body, then he goes on to suck the magic out of the magic Dragon Balls? Just in this chapter alone, Moro has revealed some secret techniques that we had no clue about, so anything can happen from this point moving forward, and maybe a few of these twists are what we need to prolong the ending of this arc. Continuing on with the fight though, there was a nice little reference to Goku's battle against Kefla, as Goku starts charging a Kamehameha while running towards Moro, dodging all of his energy beams and illusions only to fire the Kamehameha at his opponent. This time, rather than the opponent being knocked out, Moro manages to counter the Kamehameha and the two continue exchanging blows for blow. Watching the fight from afar though, Piccolo and the rest comment on the fight believing that Goku has the advantage against Moro, as Goku displays that he's fast enough to dodge Moro's energy absorption. This ultimately leads to them getting their hopes up by thinking that Ultra Instinct Sign might be the key to victory due to its superiority over Moro, and Gohan is led on to believe that Goku can also tap into the silver-haired version of Ultra Instinct as well, but we quickly learn through a conversation between Whis and Maris, who are also spectating the fight between Goku and Moro, that Goku only learned to tap into the black-haired version of the form, the gateway form to Mastered Ultra Instinct Sign. Not only is Goku unable to tap into Mastered Ultra Instinct at this point, which I think is a good thing because he still has some room to improve his fighting prowess up to that level, but Moro also reveals that he had been holding back the entirety of their fight and wasn't fighting at full power. After powering up to his full strength, a strength that surpasses even the gods, we learn that Moro's full power came about from his planet consumption, similar to how Imperfect Cell got power boosts through absorbing civilians of different cities way back during the Cell Saga. Catching Goku off guard with his newly revealed power, Moro manages to trap him in a bear hug and ultimately squeezes the Ultra Instinct Sign out of Goku, throwing him off to the side in his base form. Now, the reason why Goku lost control of Ultra Instinct Sign at this point is spelled out to us by Moro, who realizes that Goku only employed the form during their battle as opposed to his fight against Saganbo, was because Goku was unable to maintain Ultra Instinct Sign for long periods of time. Personally, I think this is the best case scenario at this moment because Ultra Instinct Sign has shown that it still needs to be mastered by Goku, and it's shown that he only learned how to tap into it like I theorized in previous chapter discussions. So Goku can still tap into Ultra Instinct Sign at will whenever he wants, it all just depends on the amount of stamina he has, and he can't tap into it for long periods of time as displayed in this chapter. After this revelation, Goku then taps back into Ultra Instinct Sign, and rather than try to balance out his stamina throughout the fight like Maris suggested he should do, it seems as though Goku is going to give everything he has and fight Moro at full power. With that, Chapter 59 of the Dragon Ball Super manga comes to a close. Overall, I'd say this was a really entertaining chapter as it not only gave us a visually fantastic fight, but it gave further insight into what the remainder of this arc's plot has in store by showing off Shimareka and 7-3, as well as informing us about the Dragon Balls. On top of that, we learned more about the details of Goku's ability to tap into Ultra Instinct Sign, and as I theorized, he hasn't fully mastered the form, just the ability of tapping into it so he can use the Ultra Instinct technique on top of it. Similar to how he can tap into Super Saiyan at will upon returning to Earth from planet Yardrat, but he didn't fully master the form until going into the hyperbolic time chamber with Gohan. Chapter 60 is shaping up to be a really big chapter, as we're finally going to see Goku and Moro fight at full power against one another, with Ultra Instinct Sign most likely giving out on Goku. Earlier in this discussion, I mentioned how everything building up Vegeta's mastery of spirit control is lining up perfectly, a little bit too perfectly, and I do believe that either at the end of Chapter 60 or Chapter 61, Vegeta will complete his training and step in to confront Moro in order to save Goku. Everything has been leading to this moment, and it would be a major surprise for Vegeta not to show off what he's learned. And I know that Vegeta didn't really want to learn instant transmission in particular, but how cool would it be if he just teleported onto the battlefield to save Goku at the last second? But what did all of you think about Chapter 59? Did you enjoy it, or do you have a few problems with what we've been given? Leave your comments down below and let's all theorize about what could possibly happen moving forward into Chapter 60. I've been a big fan of this arc from the very beginning, but now that everything is coming together, and all of my previous theories have been coming true and shifting with each new chapter, I cannot wait to see the finale, whether it be sooner or later. So as always, I hope you all enjoyed my review and discussion on this month's Dragon Ball Super chapter, and if you want to hear me talk about the next chapter when it drops, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of Dragon Ball content, and I hope you take the time to go back and check it all out. Until my next discussion though, I'll be seeing all of you later.